You're listening to Carolina Forest Panther Football on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network, and it starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Carolina Forest Panther Football here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network as the Panthers have game 2 of their 3-game home gauntlet to start off the season as they face off against the number 4 ranked Oceanside Landsharks in a big matchup to really determine how good both of these teams are going into the remainder of the season. I'm Brandon Biskuping. I'll be bringing you all the action, and joining me as usual, Preston Payne. And Preston, before we get to this one, unfortunately we have to talk about last week and what transpired this week as a result. A little
hating?
A little
Can we say hating?
Yes, a little hating on the part of South Carolina media and Max Preps.
So we always like college football because college football is a good example because everyone listens to college football or watches college football. When an unranked team plays a top, so let's say 10 team, and they play them close. Usually, that low unranked team either gets into the rankings or is like 26.
Or is at least receiving.
Is respected.
Yes.
And usually that top team drops a couple spots, given everything else stays the same. Apparently, the South Carolina people who do the media poll just don't watch the games because Somerville.
They did it backwards.
They did it. They did it backwards. Somerville stayed at number 1. So you would assume that means Carolina Forest is getting some respect because they're saying Somerville played a really good game against a really good opponent. Nope. South Carolina Forest is actually not receiving votes anymore.
When they were
last week. So it's crazy to me that in a 33-26 loss, that as I've shown you the pictures now, that the last touchdown by Somerville was actually arguably out of bounds.
And we did find out that the catch last week that we thought was a catch did end up being a drop.
So those two things, like one of those plays goes the other way, we could be talking completely different about this Carolina Forest team. So it's one of those things where I think it's just plain either ignorance by the SC media poll or just they don't care. And either one is probably not the best for the rankings. But
no.
Going into this game, now that we've gotten that out, I've gotten my rant out.
Yeah. Well, just real quick, just to go back to that, in the 5A poll for High School Sports Report, they also still have Somerville at 1, but Carolina Forest is at 13th. So they're at least getting a little bit, which I forget where they were last week, but they were around the same
13,
spot last week.
I think it was 13.
Yeah, so.
Still speaking of last week, I guess, but looking to this game, Oceanside got absolutely crushed by South Florence, who we play next week. So this is a by proxy type of where can we stack up against South Florence. If we come out here and offense plays strong and all this other stuff that we'll talk about later in the pregame show, if all of that happens against a team that South Florence beat up on, next week we could have a fun matchup on our hands. If we kind of struggle, kind of play like we did the first quarter of the Somerville game, we could be talking about maybe another slugfest like last year against South Florence. Now, I know you're a big proponent of the transitive property in football. I really am not. I think it's more of an any given Saturday, any given Sunday if you're NFL, but
or Friday if we're here.
So it's more of an any given day, anyone can beat anyone type of thing. It's who's going to come out and show out. So I just want to run through something real quick, and you actually were surprised by this. Last week, Ethan Hamilton only threw 10 passes.
Which was shocking to me.
Which was shocking to begin with. He only completed one of them. To Khalil Johnson for 9 yards. Now, don't get me wrong, he also ran for 112 yards.
But the fact that, and we talked about this during the West Brunswick game and before the season started, the fact that the running game was that dynamic that they were able to stay in it with the number one team in the state is still a very good sign, especially considering that is the offense that Mark Morris prefers to go to.
Right, and I think also, but again, like we were talking about last year, you can't just be one-dimensional.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, if Khalil Johnson is the only person who catches a pass the entire game, again, we might not beat Oceanside.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be a little bit of both. Now, to be fair, half of those incompletions were probably drops.
Yes.
Like they hit him in the hands and they just dropped it. That's something that we have to clean up.
Mm-hmm.
If looking back on it,
I remember there was that one pass to, I forget who it was, but he was wide. I think it was
Lawson.
It was Lawson. He was wide open in the flat, and he just dropped it.
Right, and that I said at the end of that game in our post game that
he was going to be kicking himself all night.
Well, that, but also I thought we played a relatively clean game of football.
Yes.
That is the only thing, the drops, the only thing that I would say that's what we need to fix.
Yeah.
Last week is one of those games where someone has to lose.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks that it was us, but someone has to lose every football game. So when going into this game, if we just clean up that one thing, we had maybe 3 penalties? Like, I don't know the exact number, but we didn't have a whole lot of penalties against us. And
a lot better than West
Brunswick. I completely agree. That first drive, because that first drive started off really rough with the overhead snap.
Yep.
So going into this game, I've been teasing you all before we went on air about what my bold prediction is going to be. I am guaranteeing to our listeners a Carolina Forest victory tonight.
Oh wow.
That is my it's not really a bold prediction, but that is my guarantee.
Okay.
Guarantee.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you may very well be right because like we talked about, and I know you don't like transitive property stuff, but the fact that that Oceanside lost to South Florence pretty decisively too last week, 28-6, this is going to be a big test for the Panthers, not only for this game, but for next week and going forward as we head closer and closer to region play. Obviously, last year, one of the big storylines in this game is last year's game where the Panthers looked like they had the chance to win the game, and just poor clock management at the end of the game screwed them, and they lost 28-24 at the Citadel. But if you look at this, we talked about earlier on in the season how obviously we don't have Scott Saylor, we don't have Nate Schuessler anymore for Carolina Forest. But if you look at the offense for Oceanside, they've lost just as much, if not more. They lose Cole Strickler, who was one of their big wide receivers. He's at Coastal now. Monroe Freeling, who was the left tackle, he's at Georgia. He was a highly touted prospect. Vaughn Blue, who ran the ball up and down the field against Carolina Forest, and he's at Liberty. And there's a few others that we'll get to when we come back. Take a quick break for the national anthem, and then we'll be right back with more stats and analysis and get you ready for the beginning of this game.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Comfort Dog Grooming Salon has been part of the Carolina Forest community pet grooming needs with quality and loving care for your pets for over 15 years. Large, medium, or small, they groom them all. They've always accepted new clients, and rebooking is easy. With 31 years experience with their staff, they're up to date on techniques and safety standards for all breeds, and the medical distance are no problem. They're active in your community with youth sports and lending a helping hand. Call them to be a part of the family with your furry friend. 843-903-4554 or at comfortdogsalon.com, or just stop by with your furry friend at 4006 Postal Way, Myrtle Beach.
as always, a great rendition of the national anthem by the Panther Marching Band. And like we were talking about before we went to break, you've got those three top offensive players, but then on top of that, Zach Hagedorn, who was a big safety, he's at Old Dominion now, and Zach Champagne, who was a long snapper / center, he's at Presbyterian. So 5 key pieces of last year's team
for this game is going to be Von Blue.
Oh, yeah.
And just because Von Blue was just running all over the Carolina Force defense last year. Now, to be fair, I think this defense has gotten 10 times better. So it would have been interesting to see Von Blue against this defense. However, I'm really glad we don't have to.
Yes, absolutely.
That is perfect for us because Von Blue is no longer here. So what I think the keys to the game for the offensive side of the ball, because honestly, the defense was put in a lot of bad positions last week, and I think that's why they gave up as many points as they did. Had they not have to go back-to-back stops from inside the 30-yard lines, like the field position for Somerville?
They didn't have a drive where Somerville started in their own territory until the second quarter.
Until the second half. Late second quarter.
Yeah, late second quarter.
So basically a quarter and a half of football before you even, as a defense, have any type of field position to work with. So it's going to be the offense. Can the offense flip field? Not even you don't have to score touchdowns every drive. Just give this defense a chance to play the way they've been playing.
Yeah.
On offense, I think it's going to be having more than one pass completion. I think it's going to be keeping that dynamic running game. Outside of that, I think this team is in a really, really good spot, and I think this is the most positive we've been about Carolina Force in a long. Even at the end of last year, we were like, okay, they played 2 pretty soft opponents in the playoffs. What can they truly do? And we saw against Fort D that they kind of got ran over.
Well, one thing. Waiting to see what the call is. Taking a while for the coin toss out there right now.
Know.
But one thing that you mentioned that is going to be a big key on the defensive front for Carolina Forest, as the coin toss is up, and it looks like Oceanside has won the toss. Or now he tosses it.
I don't know.
And still, it looks like Oceanside won the toss. And they will waiting for a signal. I think Carolina Forest will receive the ball. Yep. They deferred. Okay. So Oceanside will start with the ball. The call I like to see. Panthers deferring.
Yeah. I mean, I do, but I always give the caveat, if you are a major underdog in the game.
Yes.
If you can go out and you can score a touchdown early, it's going to be massive for that momentum swing.
Yeah. So one thing that you mentioned before, obviously Von Blue was the big key for that Oceanside offense last year. But do you remember something else of last year's game on the flip side? How poorly Edward Reidenbach was throwing the ball last season.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
Yeah. So without that running back to fall back on, could we see some big picks from Jamori Davis and Charles McCray and Xavier Wynn?
I think so. Honestly, I'd be more prepared for it on special teams. Our special teams unit has played very, very well. Especially on the defensive side of the special teams. Not the punting necessarily, but we had 2 blocked extra points last week. We had almost a blocked punt. We had a punt that was forced at the 25 that set up that comeback against Somerville. So the special teams. Testing.
You're good.
Okay.
That was weird.
That was very weird. Anyway, I guess they want me to shut up. But this special teams unit is really, really good, and I'm really ready to see some bigger plays on the special teams. And it's funny that I say bigger plays, they haven't had 2 blocked PATs, but this is going to be a game where defense is going to win this game.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of defense, you're talking about Carolina Forest defense, but another big matchup that I see, especially with how well he's played in this style over the last couple of games, we've talked about how Khalil Johnson has done so much better running inside of the tackles. Well, while he is primarily, he's being recruited as an offensive lineman, Ben Brin is a defensive tackle for Oceanside. And on the other side of him in the defensive tackle position is Mike Jones, who has a Citadel offer. So that, D1 defensive tackles against Khalil Johnson, can he keep up that good running game inside the tackle?
Hey, but you know who we have on the inside on that offensive line? Philip
McLean, yeah.
And I will ride that offensive line until death do us part.
But he's on the outside. He's not dealing with the tackle. He's dealing with the end.
And guess what? It doesn't matter.
True.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
As J.J. Chaddick is going to send us off. It's a deep kick. It's going to be fielded around the 13-yard line. Taken up. He's reversing field going to the far side. He's going to brick one tackle. He's got some room down to the 30, 35, and going out at the 37-yard line. And that's where Oceanside will start the possession.
Grayson Freeling, brother of Monroe Freeling, with that kick return. And you mentioned it for the Panthers, but special teams already coming into play right here with that big kick return to start off the game.
Yeah, 34-yard line.
Yes. So that's where Oceanside will start with the ball on the far side hash of the 34-yard line. They'll go shotgun set with 2 wide on the near side plus the H-back. They'll hand it off, trying to get through, and is able to break one tackle, but a prowl of Panthers still on his feet, but finally taken down Trey Brown with a gain of 1. A gain of 3, and it will be a 2nd and 7.
And that's one of those where you have to get him down at the first point of attack. Yeah. They hit him at the line, just could not bring him down to start at the first point of attack.
Pistol set, 1 wide on either side. Snap read option, keeping his Reidenbach, and he'll get a gain of about 6. Right at the line to gain, just a few inches short. So it'll be 3rd and inches for Oceanside from the 43-yard line.
I would assume maybe like a QB sneak.
Yeah.
That's what I would run, but also I don't know if Ocean, I don't know how many high school offenses have a designed QB sneak in their playbook.
You see it a lot in these sorts of situations. That looks like exactly what they're going to go with, the split back position and 3 wide on the near side. Reidenbach takes the snap, read option, keeps it himself, breaks 1 tackle, and gets taken down at the 45-yard line for a gain of 5.
And if this is what the read option is going to do,
they need to start.
That's going to be one of those things where that's going to kill us later on.
Well, but at the same time, the Panthers need to start remembering as they go shotgun, pistol set, 3 wide on the near side. They'll motion one of the receivers. They'll hand it off, and getting stuffed right at the line. Behind the line is Trey Brown. He'll lose 1. And it's a 3rd and 6 now for the Landsharks.
And that was a poor read by the Reidenbach. He held the ball for way too long and then decided to just hand it off and sell out his running back. Now 3rd and 6. This is where the defense has to just pin their ears back, and this is where they've been really good in situations like this.
Shotgun set, 2 wide plus the tight end on the far side. Hands it off. Oh, no, Reidenbach keeps it himself, and he gets the first down and more. Gets taken down at the 35-yard line, and just like I did, Carolina, the defense got tricked on that play, thought he handed it off to Brown, and he was just able to pull it out of Brown's stomach and carry it himself for the first down and more.
Yeah. Just, you can't, if this is how it's going to be, you can't let the quarterback just run all over you.
Pistol set, 2 wide on either side. Reidenbach takes a snap, no drop, and he'll pass it short, and it's incomplete.
And there's a flag down. They're going to say he caught it, but there's a flag down.
They will say Virgilio caught it, but we'll wait to see what the flag is. I'm guessing a holding here. Yes, it's going to be holding on Oceanside, so that'll push them back. And it'll remain first down.
Kind of like what I was saying with the 3rd and 6, this is where the defense has been statistically just a lot better.
Yeah.
And it obviously makes sense. Like 1st and 20 is a lot easier to stop than 1st and 10. But this is where the defense just has to – you can't let them out of it like you've been doing the past couple weeks.
And what I was going to say before, as Oceanside will have the ball on the 45-yard line of Carolina Forest, while that was a decent pass by Reidenbach, these Panthers, the defense needs to remember that he was not very good at passing it last year, so they can creep up. As they'll go read option again, Reidenbach keeps himself, will get back to the original line of scrimmage on a gain of 10, and it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. And like I said, the pass to Virgilio was decent, but the defense needs to start creeping up and going after this read option game that Oceanside is running.
I think so too. I think you make them you respect their running ability and you make them pass the football.
Yeah, make them make you respect the pass. As they'll go empty, 2 wide on the far side, and now a screen pass over to Brown. Brown will get a couple of yards to gain. Get 3 yards. And actually, they'll say he got 4, so it'll be 3rd and 6 from the 31-yard line.
And again, you cannot 3rd and 6. You figure they're going to pass, but you also have to respect the read option because they've already ran it a couple times.
Actually, they will mark him down at the 32, so it'll be 3rd and 7. Oceanside will go pistol.
I say send a 0 blitz and you just go after the QB.
1 wide on either side. Reidenbach takes the snap, play action, high passes, caught, breaks 1 tackle and gets the first down and more, does Virgilio. Actually, that was number 13, Tanner Swisher, who made the catch.
And the defense got there. There was a person in Reidenbach's face. He just made a loft pass over and was able to break a tackle for the first down.
They'll go pistol again, 1 wide on either side. They'll hand it off to Brown, and Brown will get taken down after they will say he did not even get back to the line. So a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11 from the 24.
And that right there is how you stop a running game. Meet him in the backfield. That's a TFL. That is a great tackle by Jonathan right there.
Jonathan Principe with that tackle. Pistol set, 1 wide on either side. They'll motion. Hands it off to Brown again, and he'll get stood up after a gain of 2. And it'll be a 3rd and 9 from the 23-yard line. Jonathan Rivas with the tackle.
And Rivas and Principe both first name Jonathan, which is kind of funny. But both of them have been involved early and often in this defense, and that's a good sign for this Josh Allen run. Like a Josh Allen near the goal line type of thing. And they're bringing in maybe more receiving threats.
Yeah, they're going to go for it on 4th and 6. Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Reidenbach takes a snap, 3-step drop, looking near side, throws it high, and it's incomplete, and the Panthers get the turnover on down.
And like you mentioned, not an accurate pass whatsoever. And he had number 72, Tyreek Livingston, in his face, but he had a wide open player down the field. Like I didn't see number, but he was wide open.
And that shows how little he trusts his arm, because instead of going for the pass to the wide open receiver down the field, he decided to go to the check route of Trey Brown in the flat.
And he still overthrew
he still overthrew it, exactly. So the Panthers get the ball.
Looks like an official timeout.
And there will be an official timeout. So we'll take a quick break with them. With 5:06 left to go in the first quarter, still no score here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
First offensive drive for the Panthers coming up, and they will start on their own 20-yard line. And a strong start for the Panthers defensively. They'll go shotgun set with 2 running backs in the backfield, going triple option, pitches it out to Livingston, and he'll get the first down, and Moore gets pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line, and that'll be enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. And
let me add something to that run. It's a 15-yard gain, but he shoved the absolute mess out of that DB.
He went full
Derrick Henry on that?
Derrick Henry stiff arm on the Oceanside defender.
Hey, but Christopher Livingston has that type of power, and that's what we're talking about, the change of pace type of back, but he was able to get to the outside and make a big play on the outside.
They'll go shotgun set 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off this time to Khalil Johnson, and he'll get stood up behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 for Johnson, and that'll set up a 2nd and 12 from the 33-yard line. And interesting that they went for the triple option right off the bat in this game, and it worked.
I really don't mind that play call because if they're watching film, they know Khalil Johnson can run in between the tackles, and that's how you get him.
Shotgun set 1 wide on either side. This time Hamilton holds on to the ball on the read option and gets a gain of 3.
There's a flag on the backside of this play. The far line judge actually threw it, so I don't know what he saw on that far side, but there was something that he threw the flag for.
Perhaps a holding. That's my guess.
Based on the play call, I would assume.
Waiting on the call. And I'm guessing neutral zone infraction on.
Well, they didn't move the ball. They didn't move the ball. I would say I don't know. I don't know.
It looked like the referee was signaling for a neutral zone infraction as they'll go shotgun set. A screen pass will get held up. Oh, wow. Still on his feet, and finally, after a huge hit, as Charles McCray gets walloped in the backfield on the screen pass, and the Panthers lose a bunch of yards. Instead, they lose even more yards, and now it is a 4th and 19, and they will punt it away.
It's a good hop, though.
A good Carolina Forest bounce, and it will settle down at the 42-yard line of Oceanside. So that's where the Landsharks will start with the ball on this second offensive drive for them. And a drive apiece for both teams and no points thus far.
And that is the exact start that I said that we couldn't have. Was the same start as Somerville. And I would say that's pretty similar besides the opening play of the triple option.
And you have to wonder now, with the triple option being the only play that worked on that drive, do they start going to that more going into their next drive? They'll go shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Reidenbach, play action, throws it, and it is caught in the flat. Jack Waddy makes the catch, and it is a gain of 8, putting the ball on the 50-yard line. Second and 2, shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Reidenbach motions. And they'll go another screen pass, and it is caught. Trying to reach out for the first down is Logan Hamilton. We'll see where the mark is. It looks like they're going to mark him right at the line to gain.
I think that's kind of a generous spot, too.
They're going to say he's just short. So it'll be 3rd and inches, ball on the 48. And
they're going to measure it.
Oh, yeah, they're going to bring out the sticks to measure.
That also, I think, is a little bit of a generous spot, too, though. They're going to give them the first down. They're not even going to measure.
Oh,
They're just gonna give them the first down.
Okay. So that'll be an Oceanside first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line of Carolina Forest.
I thought he hit him right at the line of scrimmage and got him down, but clearly not.
It looked like he tried to reach it out, and maybe they gave him kind of forward progress.
Either way, 1st and 10.
Yep. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. H-back moving all over the place. They'll hand it off, breaking around the corner and getting to the outside edge is Trey Brown, and he'll get pushed out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Actually, they'll give him at the 41-yard line. Oh, no, they'll mark him at the 42-yard line. Gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd and 4.
So one thing that I'm kind of noticing is that this defense is really hanging on to that bend but don't break type of offense.
Yeah.
It is.
Which is what they did well over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, but also we saw last week that type of play doesn't sustain very well over an entire game.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. They'll run the motion. They'll read option. Reidenbach keeps it himself, and he'll push forward, plowing through a prowl of Panthers right to the line to gain. We'll see where they mark it.
Number 21, Jonathan Rivas.
Jonathan Rivas with the tackle, and they're going to say he's just short again. This time they do keep it as just short, and it'll be 3rd and inches for Oceanside. And this, again, they're going to run the split back, just QB power, and again he goes around the corner, gets the first down. This time not quite as many yards as he did last time, but is able to get 2.
And this Oceanside team is just kind of matriculating the ball down the field, as you'd like to put it.
Exactly.
And just 3rd and short, get a first down, and then go from there. But this is one of those things where can this Panthers defense force them into a 3rd and long, 4th and long situation?
Interesting that on first down they're going split back again. This time they hand it off to Brown on the split back, and he gets pushed out of bounds after a gain of 1. Actually, a gain of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 8. Don't see split back on first down in high school very often.
Well, and I wonder if that's because they want to give Carolina Forest a different look out of that split back, so that on a 3rd and short, like we just saw earlier a couple of plays ago, that they're not just selling out on the QB power.
Yeah.
You give Coach Mark Morrison, that defensive coaching staff, some different stuff to look at. That way they're not selling out on QB power off the right tackle.
Half a minute left to go in the first quarter. This quarter has gone by very quickly because of the amount of running for both teams. This game may go by very quickly. Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Take the snap, hands it off to Brown. Brown finds a wide open lane and gets up to the first down marker before a prowl of Panthers takes him down. But it looks like he did get just enough for the first down. We'll see where they mark it.
And that was just good blocking by the offensive line. They're going to give them the first down.
They just opened parting the Red Sea there. And they will give him the first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 from as that will end the first quarter. So after 1 quarter, still no score, but Oceanside is driving. We'll take a quick break and come right back with the second quarter here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Comfort Dog Grooming Salon has been part of the Carolina Forest community pet grooming needs with quality and loving care for your pets for over 15 years. Large, medium, or small, they groom them all. They've always accepted new clients, and rebooking is easy. With 31 years experience with their staff, they're up to date on techniques and safety standards for all breeds, and the medical conditions are no problem. They're active in your community with youth sports and lending a helping hand. Call them to be a part of the family with your furry friend. 843-903-4554 or at ComfortDogSalon.com. Or just stop by with your furry friend at 4006 Postal Way, Myrtle Beach.
Start of the second quarter here at the Panther Palladium as it's still no score, but Oceanside is threatening They've got the ball down at the 26-yard line of Carolina Forest. Have it on the close to the near side hash, not quite, but they are trying to put the first points of the game on the board and put the Panthers onto the back foot. They'll go pistol. Bunch trips on the near side, on the far side, and they'll hand it off to Brown. Brown will get stood up after a gain of 1. And it will be 2nd and 9 from the 25.
And now this is where the defense has to just pin their ears back. They've gotten good pass rush when they force them into obvious passing situations. It's just one of those things where can they consistently get Oceanside into 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and then 4th and long.
2nd and 9.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Reidenbach, play action pass, throws a screen pass out, a little dump off, breaking 1 tackle, going towards the end zone and getting pushed out of bounds at the 6-yard line. It's Jack Waddy, and that will be another Oceanside first down. And here's something, we talked about it earlier. All of these passes that have worked for Oceanside have been little dump-off passes.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think Carolina Forest just needs to pin their ears back, have everyone come up to the line, and just wait as they run. They run a little bit. They run some wildcat, and Trey Brown. Oh, no, that was actually Reidenbach, who basically was running like the formation was similar to a wildcat. It was just him in the backfield, and it was a direct snap. He just ran through the hole and is able to get into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that is, I mean, that's the only thing they run in this offense is QB power. Like, if you stop QB power, you can stop their entire offense.
That's what I was saying, as the extra point is up and good.
No good.
Oh, no, wide right. He hooked it right. And so, hey, once again, extra points may come into play in this game. So with
we've had some extra point shenanigans the past couple games.
With 10:48 left to go in the first half, it's 6-0 Landsharks. But like I was saying, it looks like Reidenbach, all he can throw is dump-offs.
Yeah.
So if you just have everyone come up to the line, 11 men in the box, and you basically dare him to throw it down the field, what you have to wonder what would happen.
Right. And that might be an adjustment that Mark Morris and the defensive staff makes at like halftime, but I don't think they can afford to make it at halftime if it's going like this.
Exactly.
If the Oceanside offense is just able to run clock out and play possession football, it's not going to be pretty.
But, I mean, if the Panthers can score a touchdown here, especially if they can make the extra point, they're in the lead. So it's not like this game is, a blowout already, as the kickoff is up, and they'll just let this go out of the end zone. And the Panthers will start with the ball at the 20.
So Ethan Hamilton has one completion, but he also has negative 11 yards.
Yeah,
because of the play. And I noticed Charles McCray caught that pass. He is primarily a defensive player.
Yeah.
So is Mark Morris trying to get his best players, his most athletic players into space with the football?
Or is there someone not available tonight?
I don't know. I see 2. I see 10. I see all the normal people who are in. Hayden Souls and
do you see Zach Gardner, 11?
I don't believe so. I don't know what the refs are blowing the whistle. They're conferring. I don't know what they're conferring about. They're telling the play clock operator to reinstate some time.
And I believe, that is number 11 on the far side of the field. Or actually, no, that's Jordan Hollifield, number 17 out there. But still, he is the man on that side. So shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Hamilton takes the snap. He'll go speed option, pitches it out to Johnson, and he gets stood up. A trip up by number 2.
That's number 5.
That is Nate Sturm who makes the tackle.
Tackled by number 2.
And that was a great tackle in the open field. And
it, 2nd and 10.
We know how hard it is to tackle Khalil Johnson in the open field. It's just that was a really good one-on-one tackle.
was able to get back to the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Shotgun set 2 wide on the far side. Snap. They'll hand it off again to Johnson. Johnson, great cutback. Gets close to the first down marker. They'll mark him down.
Yeah.
They're going to give it to him. They're going to mark him down right at the 30 and say that's enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. And what a cutback by Khalil Johnson.
But here's the other thing. I don't think he really needed to. I think he had space if he just kept running straight. But either way, he's able to get the first down. And going into this game, Khalil Johnson was running at 11.3 yards per carry. But what I mentioned to you was it's not it's not all that. It's boom or bust with Khalil Johnson, and we saw the boom right there.
Yeah. Shotgun set 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off to Johnson again. He gets a good block, is able to stay on his feet before a whole swarm of Landsharks stand him up at the 35-yard line. So it'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd and 5.
And we saw Khalil Johnson lowers his shoulder right there, too, and that's how he got the extra momentum to bring him to 5 yards right there.
Shotgun set 2 wide on the far side. Hamilton motions the H-back over to the near side, takes a snap, speed option, pitches it out to Johnson. Johnson tries to get around the corner but gets stood up after a gain of 2. And it'll be 3rd and 3. Actually, they're only going to give him 1. Nate Sturm has been all over the place, the cornerback for Oceanside. He's been coming in and making big tackles thus far.
And that's what happens when you run to the outside. The quarterbacks are going to have to make tackles, and if that's what the case is, you're going to have to start running in between the tackles.
So it'll be 3rd and 4. Shotgun set 2 wide on the far side. Read option, and Hamilton is stood up and pulled down after a gain of 2. And it'll be 4th and 2 from the 38-yard, 4th and 1. And it looks like Carolina Forest is going to go for it. Shotgun set 2 wide on the far side. Hamilton now looking over to the sideline for a call.
They have time. They still got 20 seconds on the play clock.
Hamilton, and a timeout is called by Oceanside, trying to figure out if Carolina Forest was going to go for it or not. I'm sure it isn't lost on Chad Wilkes what Carolina Forest did last season with how they would look like they were going to go for it on 4th down and then pull back.
Yeah,
so
I completely agree. But this is going to be the drive that kind of tells me where is this offense going to do what it did against Somerville, start slow and then turn up?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be kind of a extra slow start and see if the defense can keep you in the game type of thing?
This could be the play of the half. Right here.
I agree.
So just under 8 minutes, 7:58 left to go in the first half. 6-0 Landsharks in the lead.
And for as unconventional as it might sound, I'd go speed option here. I'd go triple option here. I'd go Livingston with already mute point, but I would have Livingston go between the tackles if it's open, and if not, Khalil Johnson on the outside.
Shotgun set 2 wide on the far side. Hamilton calling out a play. And I wonder if they try to, run this down a little bit. No, they take the snap, hand it off to Johnson. Johnson is able to
get the first down.
He just gets it. He'll get marked down at the 40-yard line, and it'll be just enough for another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
And he wanted a yard. He got a yard.
He got exactly a yard.
Yeah.
But I guess that's all you need right now.
Right.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 40. Shotgun set 2 wide on the far side. Hamilton takes the snap.
Speed option.
Weird play action speed option, and Johnson will get stood up after a gain of 1. And it will be 2nd and 9.
Look, we needed 1 yard last time. We don't need 1 yard runs the entire rest of the game.
Yeah. We need one of those Khalil Johnson blow-up runs they had last week.
Right.
So 2nd and 9. Panthers will go shotgun, 2 wide on the far side. 7 minutes left to go in the first half. 6-0 Oceanside in the lead. Hamilton takes a snap. Or play action. Looking deep. Got a man open, and he's caught. Going 20, 10, 5 will get pushed out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
Number 2, Finian Mahood.
Finian Mahood. He had to come back, though. That ball was underthrown a little bit.
That ball was underthrown, and I'm telling you what, that almost looked like an arm punt.
Yeah.
And Finian Mahood comes out of nowhere. Call him Houdini because he just appeared, took the ball out of the hand, and sets up the Panthers with prime position down at about the 2-yard line.
That'll be enough for another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. I couldn't tell if it was Holyfield or Souls who was there as well, but it looked like that was the intended receiver, but Mahood comes out of nowhere, makes the catch, is able to avoid a couple of defenders, and is able to get all the way down as they'll hand it off to Johnson. Johnson will get stood up right at the line to gain.
He got hit late.
And a late hit, and he is down. Gets picked up. Looks like he'll be okay, and where there is a flag, so you'd have to imagine that late hit will be called.
He got hit really late. And you heard, I don't know how well you could hear it on the broadcast, but the entirety of the parent section right in front of us just completely yelled and screamed.
And I think the student section started a "you can't do that" chant.
That is a classic.
It is. And
why are
they're moving it back?
Question mark? What?
Ball goes against the Sharks.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, but why is it second down then?
I guess maybe they.
Why is it second down?
I'm not sure, but either way, 2nd and 4. And, yeah, it should be a first down.
Chain gang. Chain gang.
And
the parents are yelling. The parents are trying.
The
really
fans
trying.
are trying to call for it as they'll hand it off to, I believe that is Livingston, yeah. And he'll get stood up at the 2-yard line.
Christopher Livingston on the carry.
Should still be set. Like, I'm confused.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming that the Panthers, if it does get down to that point, that they're going to talk to the refs about it. But hopefully it won't matter. Hopefully they can just score the touchdown right here.
Yeah, but also I don't like that.
True. No, I agree. Looking for a play call. And a whistle is blown.
No? What? The ref started walking through the play and then didn't. I'm confused.
As keeping it himself is Hamilton.
Livingston got to get one.
Okay. Livingston was handed the ball off, and he'll get taken down at the 1-yard line.
And
so
it still should be third down.
It should be.
They have fourth down on the field. I don't know.
I believe that should be third down.
The PA system is.
The PA announcer said, yeah, it should be third down, we're pretty sure of. And
what is going on?
I wonder if I'm surprised Mark Morris isn't asking for clarification, because this is a big decision based on what the
penalty on first down should have replayed the first down. There's a penalty on first down.
So I think the ref just put up.
No. What? There's still. What is going on? So fourth down, I guess?
I guess they're going to run the speed option. Hamilton tries to keep himself. Pitches it over, and Livingston is able to get into the end zone. So it doesn't matter. Third down, fourth down. We've got a Carolina Forest Panther touchdown.
Like, okay, I'm glad that we scored the touchdown, but what even was that?
Yeah.
But that is a great run. The speed option is working right now. And Livingston was the beneficiary of that one. And just a great run to the outside. And this could put Carolina Forest up by 1 point.
The extra point for J.J. Chaddock. Little low snap. The kick is up and good. And the Panthers take the lead with 5:25 left to go in the first half. 7-6, Panthers in the lead. We'll take a quick break. Come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Panthers trying to keep this momentum going, their first lead of the game. And yeah, I heard you talking to your mom. I know you don't listen to much metal, but you made me think of the Psycho Stick song, I Can Only Count to 4.
Apparently we can't even do that.
No, we can't.
Apparently the refs need to go back to the high school back behind us.
No, not even
algebra. You just go back to
elementary school.
Go down, post the way to the elementary school?
Yep, precisely. Go over to, what is it, Riverside over there?
There's a Carolina.
Oh, all right, I forgot it, yeah. So J.J. Chaddock getting ready to boot it away. And he will kick it deep. Fielded at the 11-yard line, trying to come down the field, down the near side, still on his feet, and finally a Prowl of Panthers. Grayson Freeling gets taken down at the 21-yard line.
And that was a great rally to the football on that on the kick return, and Carson Quandt ended up being the beneficiary of a whole bunch of Panthers just kind of swarming around the ball.
And they'll actually mark him out at the 22, so that's where the Landsharks will start with the ball.
Mr. Fallon was really trying to help the refs earlier.
I know he was.
When the PA system's trying to help you out, you just gotta take it, man.
Just gotta go with it.
Just blindly trust them always.
Yes.
Especially if it's at home.
Yes, of course. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Reidenbach takes a snap, will hand it off to Brown. Brown breaks around the corner, still on his feet, and a Prowl of Panthers will have to wrap him up at the 25-yard line. We'll mark him down at the 26.
At halftime, I do have a trivia question for you. That's happened twice.
Yeah, I know.
And that hasn't happened at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a trivia question for you when we get to halftime. Just giving you a heads up.
Okay.
Give you some time. But
I'm intrigued.
2nd and 6 here, and again, 2nd and medium, 3rd and medium. The defense cannot let Reidenbach or anyone run all over them right now. They have to stay still because we have time for another drive if we so choose.
Pistol set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off to Brown again. He'll try to break around the corner, gets a couple of yards. They'll say he got pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. So it will be 3rd and 2. And like you mentioned, if they're able to make this stop right here, it's about to be 4 minutes left to go in the first half. And the Panthers still have all their timeouts. So if you get a stop right here, get the ball back, you have the opportunity to get a huge momentum boost going into the half. And not to mention, who was right again?
They didn't have they did have a choice. But I said again, I don't think Carolina Forest is heavy underdogs in this game.
True. But the fact that they get the ball back as Reidenbach is held up right at the line to gain, and they will say he got enough.
I thought they were gonna. No, there was a late throwdown by someone on the Panthers defense who just kind of threw Reidenbach down, and I didn't know if they were gonna throw a flag on that one or not. They ended up not throwing the flag. Given how touch and go these refs have been, I wouldn't have been surprised.
But they do say he does get enough for the first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line.
And it looks like that might be enough for the first for the Sharks. Ball's on the 33.
And the one thing that the one weakness of this Oceanside team is their passing game.
Yeah,
and if
they don't have a passing game.
If they don't start hurrying up, they might be in a 2-minute drill where they have to pass the football.
Pistol set, 2 wide on either side. Reidenbach keeps it himself and will get taken down at the 34-yard line after a gain of 1.
2nd and 9.
And yeah, you mentioned it right there. 3 minutes left to go in the first half. And as long as the defense continues this bend but don't break attitude, you may be in a situation where it's coming down to the last seconds of the first half, and Oceanside does try to throw it up there, and maybe you get an opportunity.
Right.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Reidenbach motions a man over to the near side. He'll keep himself on the read option and gets taken down after a gain of 3. And it'll be 3rd and 6 from the 37-yard line.
And I think this defense is finally settling in because
and starting to realize that this Oceanside offense is exclusively running game.
Right, and I think this is where the defense has to pin their ears back.
Yeah.
And I use that term a lot, but you go zero blitz.
Yeah.
I don't have enough confidence in Reidenbach to make even a 5-yard pass to get a first down.
I don't even get why Charles McCray and
fumble snap.
Oh.
Pressure in the backfield. He's going to get sacked. Sacked by number 42, Jared Serrato, my impacts player for the season going into the season.
Yeah.
And that is a heavy sack right there by Jared Serrato. And that is going to give this Panthers team this Panthers offense a real good chance in the
as the mic is having some issues.
I think we're experiencing some difficulties out on the
I would believe so too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ow.
Ow.
But with 1:41 left.
Turn on that mic on the field, please. I think it's your mic, not ours. Dogs everywhere are running to hide.
1:41 left to go in the first half, and the Panthers have prime. And again.
Check your soundboard, folks. I think it's yours.
Someone's
having some technical.
Someone's having some issues down the field.
This is horrible. It's definitely the coaches' mics.
Having some issues with some sort of mic. I'm not sure what.
Mic number 2.
Mic number 2, apparently. Oh, the joys of high school football.
Yeah, right.
1:41 as the punt is up, and the Landsharks will down it on the 43-yard line. So that's where the Panthers will start on offense. And they have 1:33 left to go in this first half. And, I mean, obviously in college and the pros, that's enough time. I'm not sure if it's enough for this Panther offense.
I mean, 2 timeouts, though, and you have the first down stoppage of the clock. That could be a huge factor, too. And I think this Panthers offense could have that explosive play like they did last drive.
Hamilton takes the snap, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson finds a hole, and he gets taken down at the 48-yard line. And no timeout is called by Carolina Forest.
Brings up a 2nd and 5. Ball's on the 48-yard line.
No timeout was taken. What is there? Maybe?
Apparently not.
No,
the clock
not. Yeah,
stopped for a second, but then...
Yeah, the players are all set up.
Yeah. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side.
I don't know why the clock stopped. Right now, but now it's
home
back to
field
the line.
advantage.
Yeah, right.
The short pass out and rolling around and getting past his man. It's another man to beat and gets taken down at the 25-yard line. Hayden Souls with a great catch and a great spin move to get the yards after reception. And now the Panthers have a chance to potentially put some points on the board before this half ends. That's another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Oh no, Hamilton keeps it himself, tries to get around the edge, still on his feet, and gets taken down at the 17-yard line. And the clock does not stop. We are under a minute left to go in the first half.
And That spin on the play before that, Hayden Soul's spin move was nasty to the
Yeah,
outside, and then a read option by Ethan Hamilton, and here we go. 40 seconds to go.
And a timeout
by Oceanside.
And that helps the Panthers out because now with 38.8 seconds left to go, Panthers still have 2 timeouts. And you have to wonder, I mean, they don't do it usually, but if the Panthers say, if they get stopped here on this next play, or if they're not able to get if they're not able to score a touchdown by the time it's like 5 seconds left, do you bring out J.J. Chaddick?
I think at that point with 5 seconds left, there's not really a harm in doing it.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure if it gets blocked that you're covered the other way, and that's the worst case scenario.
Well, have we determined? I don't think it's live.
Field goals, I think it's live, right?
Okay.
Maybe.
I think you're right.
I think extra points are dead. Field goals are live because it'd be the same thing as an interception or a fumble or anything like that the other way.
We appreciate everything they do.
Especially because, like, okay, if it gets blocked and then it still goes in, it would count.
Yeah.
So I would assume it's still a live ball, but we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't have to get there.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to get to that point. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Hamilton takes the snap, speed option, pitches it out to Johnson. Johnson will get stood up at the 15-yard line. And they're not calling a timeout yet. Under a half a minute left to go.
And now
they do finally call their second timeout.
So now if you're Mark Morris, you have to have 2 play calls set up.
Yeah.
One for where you get the first down, and then one for where you don't get the first down.
Yeah.
And you either...
Well, if you get the first down, the clock stops.
Right, but it doesn't stop forever.
No, you're right.
So I think
you have to
don't
waste
you don't waste a timeout if you get a first down.
Not.
So you're looking at Ethan Hamilton and saying, hey, this is what we're running on third down. We don't get it on third down. I'm going to call a timeout, and we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah.
If we get the first down, I'm not calling a timeout when we have the clock stopped already. This is what you're running the second play.
On the second play. Yeah,
so
exactly.
What you have to do is have that in the back of his mind, but also you have to have good clock management. I think if you don't get the fourth down here, if you don't get the first down on third down, you just let the clock run down, call a timeout, let J.J. Chaddick kick a field goal.
Exactly.
I don't think you give Oceanside the opportunity to let them off the hook for that missed extra point.
No.
So I think you go for the field goal if you don't get the first down here.
You have to get points here.
One
way or the other.
Right. And it's not like it's a long field goal. I think it would be about like a 32-yard field goal?
Something like that. Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Hamilton takes the snap. He'll keep them. Oh, no, hands off to Johnson. Johnson gets the first down and more. Gets taken down at the 9-yard line. Actually, they'll mark him down at the 8. And it looks like you are correct. They are going to get a play ready to go. That's another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. They do have the play in. They'll hand it off to Johnson. Johnson gets taken down after a gain of 1 at the 7-yard line. And now Mark Morris called the timeout. Here's what I think. With 12.2 seconds left to go, you run 1 quick pass attempt into the end zone. It has to get into the end zone. Either it gets caught and you score a touchdown, or you bring in J.J. Chaddick.
Yeah, I think you only have time for maybe 1 play.
No, yeah, you only have time for 1 more play.
Unless you run – well, with how close they are to the end zone, you could maybe get 2, depending on how quick that first incompletion is.
Yes, but it would have to be an incompletion. You cannot have it land –
caught inbound in the field of play.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Here's the other thing you're telling Ethan Hamilton right now. Do not, under any circumstances, take a sack.
Yes.
Do not, this is something
Throw
that
it away.
We go.
Even if it results in an intentional grounding, it'll only push him back.
And now we're really in, J.J. Chaddick field goal range. This is range for J.J. Chaddick. And here I think you just do it like the old Scotty Sailor play where you roll to your right and just look for something on the outside.
Yeah. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. It's a low snap, but the play is blown dead.
Oceanside takes its timeout. And it's funny.
I'm surprised that they used that timeout there.
I'm not.
You don't think they'd save it to ice Chaddick?
I don't believe in icing, first of all.
Fair
I don't believe in icing. But second of all, I think I would rather have our defense, the defense ready for the play.
Yeah.
Instead of icing a kicker in high school.
Yeah. That would actually be an interesting statistical analysis. How often does icing the kicker actually work?
If I had to guess, it'd probably be like 30% of the time. But it's so hard to quantify icing because in an outdoor football game, there's a million other factors that it could be.
Of course.
So if we're just looking at a face value, how often when you take a timeout before the kicker kicks the ball, does it work?
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably a little bit higher than what it normally would be in maybe in an indoor stadium.
Yeah, yeah. So here we go, 2nd and 1. This will be the last offensive
play of the game. The clock
says
a minute 22, by the way.
I
don't know what's going on.
I'll take it. And they'll roll out, throwing it, and it is incomplete.
The timer says 118. I don't know. JJ Chad is coming out for the field goal. I don't know what the time is.
I'm pretty sure it's 11.8 seconds left.
If I had to guess. JJ Shack's going to line up for a field goal either way.
Yeah. Either way, this will be the last play of the game.
Oh, okay. 6 seconds. Okay. We have a new time.
So they'll put 6 seconds on the clock. J.J. Chaddock takes the snap, and the field goal is up and good. And the Panthers will presumably go into the locker room at the half with a 10-6 lead.
Your Panthers are ahead, 10.
That was boomed, by the way.
Yes,
that one cleared the top of the goalpost.
Yeah.
And based on like trajectory and stuff, it is really hard to clear the top of the goalpost from like the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
Like you had to get some height on it.
Yeah.
All right, pick 6, last play of the half.
Well, you would have to assume that Chaddock's going to squib it.
Yeah, probably, but, whatever. Oh, a guy can dream. We've seen crazier things happen. Not really. This would be pretty crazy. Although we saw an onside kick converted last week.
Yeah,
that's something that you don't see very often.
Very often, no.
Although I guess it probably I would assume it happens more on the high school level than anywhere else.
Yeah,
only because
you don't have as good of a hands team on the defensive side.
One would assume a squib kick here, but What was the last time we had? JJ Chaddock had a couple field goals last year.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
I was like, we don't see it often, but
before last year, I hadn't seen one in my time calling games here, as they do squib it, falling on it at the 29-yard line, and that will end the first half. Panthers up 10-6 as we head to the halftime break. We'll take a quick break and come back with some first half stats and analysis and get you ready for the second half here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Comfort Dog Grooming Salon has been part of the Carolina Forest community pet grooming needs with quality and loving care for your pets for over 15 years. Large, medium, or small, they groom them all. They've always accepted new clients, and rebooking is easy. With 31 years experience with their staff, they're up to date on techniques and safety standards for all breeds, and the medical distance are no problem. They're active in your community with youth sports and lending a helping hand. Call them to be a part of the family with your furry friend. 843-903-4554 or at ComfortDogSalon.com or just stop by with your furry friend at 4006 Postal Way, Myrtle Beach.
We are at halftime here at the Panther Palladium as the Carolina Forest Panthers are ahead of the Oceanside Collegiate Landsharks by a score of 10-6. And we will get some first half stats from Preston Payne.
So pretty pedestrian numbers, if I do say so myself.
Yes.
Khalil Johnson with 33 rushing yards and on 11 rushes, so 3 yards per carry. Not anything to write home about. Ethan Hamilton has 14 yards on 3 rushes, and then Christopher Livingston, the man of the hour, with 19 yards on 4 rushes, but also the 1 touchdown run. So one of the we talked about the running game needing to be explosive. Well, it hasn't really been explosive, but they've gotten away with it because Ethan Hamilton has thrown for 73 passing yards. And
so it's a reverse of last week.
It's a reverse of last week, but honestly, the offense doesn't look that impressive. Like, if I'm being honest, this offense was not as explosive as we thought going into it. However, being able to double up on possessions first and the second half is going to be really important for this Panthers offense. Receiving yards-wise, Finney Mahood has the 57-yard reception that set him up for the Christopher Livingston touchdown, and then Hayden Souls with the 27-yard catch and run that set him up for the field goal, and then the negative 11-yard catch by Charles McCray. And then on the defensive side, we've had some swarming tacklers, and that's because of how much they've been running the football. We have Xavion Wins at 4 tackles, and Jonathan Rivas also at 4, and then a crowd at 3 tackles. Jared Serrato, and then Braylon Fernandez, and then Tyreek Livingston all at 3, and then Jonathan Principo with the 1 tackle for loss, and then the 1 sack by Jared Serrato on defense. No, not a whole lot of pass deflections or anything of that nature.
Well, because
they don't pass. Outside of that, the defense has looked really good.
Yeah.
The offense could be better, but also they've put up enough points to where they're winning.
As long as the defense continues playing as strongly as they have been, you have to imagine, you don't need to put up a ton of points. Like we talked about last week against Somerville, as long as the defense can hold their end of the bargain, the offense, even if they're slacking a little bit, it's still enough to win the game.
Right.
Going around the state real quick, a game that is important, well, not so much important for both of these teams, but is intriguing for both of these teams. South Florence against Orangeburg Wilkinson. Any idea on the score?
I'm sorry, I was...
Yeah. South Florence against Orangeburg Wilkinson.
Okay, you could just said South Florence, and I would told you a lot. South Florence to their opponent 0.
Yes, 40-0.
So, I mean... I can make a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy it. So, but what's funny is this offense is coming in scoring 41 points per game. They had 49 that first game, 33 that second game. I checked your sheet. It was a little off. The 49 plus 33 is, or 49 plus. Yeah.
No, I have.
Did I do it wrong?
You did it wrong. It's 37.5 points per game.
But either way,
I know how to math.
A lot. Do you though?
Yes.
Do we combine?
No, we don't.
But
us individually can math. You and I together cannot.
No, I think that's how that works. Either way, my point still stands. This offense has been explosive, 37.5 points per game, and then coming into the halftime locker room at 10. That is something that probably is a little scary, but also. This team also held South Florence to 28 points. So, while we're not on pace to match that, it's pretty dang close. And this defense can certainly hold a shutout in the second half. So, but we're going to use your method of transitive property.
Yes.
Maybe the next week's game against South Florence should be pretty fun. Did you have another score?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. And I think this one's even more intriguing. Considering how the region has but an interesting stat or an interesting out of town score right now.
Yeah.
Considering how they've been playing thus far and like what we're thinking is how the region's going to play out thus far.
Yeah.
St. James against Myrtle Beach, and this has been a down year for Myrtle Beach.
I'm assuming St. James 7, Myrtle Beach 28.
Not quite that bad. Myrtle Beach 10, St. James 3.
Oh, that's a nasty score. that's one of your games. We threw it back to the early days of the NFL for that one.
But yeah, so I mean that's one that I mean we talked about it already, and I think these last couple of weeks have further proved it that it's Sumter and Carolina Forest, and then everyone else.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that statement, and it's kind of how it's been for a good long while. I'll try to find some scores for Sumter Goose Creek, but
yeah.
All right, here's your trivia question. Now that we're past all the region stuff, what is a group of sharks actually called?
I don't know. I was trying to find this when we played Oceanside last season.
It's a shiver.
A shiver.
A shiver
okay.
of sharks.
Okay.
And I definitely looked it up before
this game,
and I looked it up I think actually before with the West Brunswick game.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is it actually called? And so I looked it up and I forgot about it. So.
Now I need to remember that for the second half in case there are any more tackles of that variety.
Of that variety.
Yes.
One thing that I kind of wanted to touch on is what do we think this region looks like? Okay, outside of Sumter 1, Carolina Force 2, this region is just wide open. Like, it is just stupid. I think, Myrtle Beach blew out Conway. Myrtle Beach is currently beating St. James. Do they play Socastee?
I don't believe
I don't think so either. When I was looking through Saugastee's schedule, I don't think I did see them. But Myrtle Beach is not a very good football team.
No.
Like, they've been
especially not this year.
Especially not this year. And so it's going to be a bloodbath come region play where it's like, okay, all of the teams are going to have at least 2 losses because of Carolina Forest.
And they do. They play Socastee next week.
Okay. So
we are the only ones in the region that they do not, out of the Horry County schools.
Right. This is going to be a matchup this is going to be a region where it's a absolute just bloodbath.
Yeah.
Think like the AFC East this upcoming year, where actually it's the exact opposite though. All the teams are bad, and we don't know which one's going to end up falling into the 3 seed.
Here's a good comparison. It's
going to
be the NFC East of a couple of years ago.
Right. Where the winner was like 6 and 10 or whatever they were.
7 and 9, I think. Yeah.
So you could also say the AFC South or the NFC South this year. Like exactly. A team out of that division could definitely be 6 and 10, 7 and 9.
Yeah.
I didn't end up finding a score on Sumter. I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I'm not sure about that.
And I can't find one for Ashley Ridge against Conway or West Florence and Socastee. But
I'm trying. Anyway.
Looking at going next level for a moment, first full week of college football.
Okay, before we get into like all the players from these different schools, did you watch the Utah-Florida game last week?
I watched a bit of it. Yeah.
Florida looks absolutely horrendous.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The little bit I saw, I was not expecting that game to be that much of a blowout.
Right.
But tomorrow, hey. I want to get your prediction right now because both of these teams have players on this team, and it's right up the road. Coastal against UCLA. Does Coastal pull out the upset?
I am not a gambling person, but I think it's more appropriate to look at like spread.
Yeah.
So I'll look up the spread. If you just give me a straight money line type thing, who wins?
Yeah.
I think Coastal has the chance.
Yes.
I don't think they're favorites by any means.
No.
But also, UCLA is not a predominantly like football-heavy program.
Oh, speaking of which, I know this isn't UCLA, but what do you think of Stanford and Cal going to the ACC? It's not the ACC anymore. It is just just take the A out and just say, well, even that you can't really say because SMU is joining as well, and they're not on the coast. But you can't call it the Coastal Conference.
Okay, and they are definitely not the Coastal Conference, and it's ruining not even football. It's not ruining college football because college football they only travel once a week.
Yeah.
They can handle that.
Yeah.
It's ruining college baseball,
athletics.
college swimming, tennis, all of the programs that don't have the
apparently,
funding.
did you see the report on how they're gonna fix that problem?
I didn't hear about it.
Apparently, they're gonna use, because SMU is joining as well. They're gonna use Dallas as basically a hub city. So all of the non-revenue sports are not going to get a single home game when it comes to facing off against teams on the opposite coast.
Wow, that is something. Anyway, okay, I just looked it up. The UCLA Coastal spread is minus 14.5 for UCLA, so they're 14.5 favorites.
Yeah.
I would take Coastal on that spread.
Okay.
Now, I would not take Coastal. I mean, I might take Coastal money line just because I'm a homer, but I don't think I would take Coastal money line as a normal human being. I do think it is important for Coastal to even have the opportunity to play UCLA. That just shows you how much Coastal's been built. 21 years ago when my mom went to Coastal, they didn't even have, their football program was the bottom of FCS.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And 2 years ago they host College Game Day.
Yeah.
That is incredible. That's some. I might be throwing it back a little bit. That's some NCAA 14 rebuilding.
Oh,
speed.
yeah.
That is some
definitely.
quick rebuilding.
Yeah. That's like taking Georgia State in NCAA 14 and
making them a powerhouse.
Yeah. And then another good matchup tomorrow, which will be interesting to watch, is East Carolina seeing Mason Garcia get his first start, his first official start. Well, I think he started a couple of games last year, but his first fully being the starter for East Carolina against Michigan.
What grade is he in now?
He's a senior.
Senior, yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. Technically,
he's a redshirt junior, right?
He's technically a redshirt. Yeah, he's a junior, but he's the 2020 variety.
Right,
because he gets that extra year added. And then I believe Wofford plays tomorrow as well. So,
could you imagine if Mason Garcia's first start against Michigan, he upsets Michigan?
Oh yeah, that would be amazing.
Could you imagine?
I want to see it. I want to see that tomorrow. Over on Oceanside side, Carson Arnold, defensive lineman over at Citadel. Like I mentioned earlier, Cole Strickler at Coastal, Monroe Freeling at Georgia, Vaughn Blue, who dominated the Panthers last season, over at Liberty now. Sam Hartman transferring from Wake Forest over to Notre Dame and having a pretty good game over in Ireland last week.
Oh, yeah. That was impressive. I'm not going to lie to you.
Zach Hagedin over at Old Dominion, Zach Champagne at Presbyterian, and Jacob Ashley over at VMI. So Oceanside has some good players. Has some talent as well.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't realize that Sam Hartman was from South Carolina until the South Carolina high school page posted his highlights. I was like, wait, what?
I think he's from another state, but he transferred into Oceanside Collegiate for his senior year.
Still.
Yes, still. As the players for both teams come onto the field, and we are just a few moments away from getting the second half underway. What do the Panthers need to do? I mean, we kind of talked about it before, but more in depth, what do the Panthers need to do in order to keep this lead and win this game?
If I had to name something, I would just say kind of be more efficient on offense. Having your leading rusher only have 3 yards per carry on 11 rushes is just not going to be something that's great on this Carolina Forest offense. And then on the defense side, just play how you're playing. You don't have to be star-studded in order to win this game. You just have to play grinded out, heavy football.
We'll have a nice second half of play.
Bum, bum, bum.
So you want to hear something pretty crazy?
I would love to.
That, this also proves that they shouldn't be number one overall. Somerville's only up 14-0 on Berkeley.
Wow.
To start the second half.
Wow. As the kick is up and away, fielded at about the 9-yard line, taken out by, it looks like Quavius drawn on the return, and that'll be at the 20-yard line is where. Quavius drawn. On the return.
And I finally found Saucasy's score. West Florence is winning 14-7 over Saucasy.
West Florence is don't. If anyone from West Florence is listening, I don't think they are. But don't shoot me if I say this when they're the little brother.
Oh yeah,
to South Florence.
Definitely.
And as this drive starts, this is going to be huge for this Panthers offense to start out the second half.
So they'll start on the 20-yard line. Shotgun set, 2 running backs again. Maybe go triple option again. They do go triple option. Hamilton keeps it himself this time, but is only able to get a yard after cutting it back inside. Nothing doing there on the triple option. But interesting that in both halves, the Panthers start their offensive drives with triple option.
I think they should go to the speed option, read option more.
Yeah.
I think it's worked when they've run it, and I don't think running in between the tackles or even off the guard's shoulders is really working. I think they have to get all the way to the outside.
Looks like they're going to go for it again. Both Johnson and Livingston back there. They'll snap it. They'll go speed option. Pitches it out to Livingston. Livingston has a lane. He's got the first down and more. Gets pushed out of bounds. 1-yard line. Actually, that was Jaron Fox out there who got that carry. And he'll get a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. And he'll actually mark him at the 42-yard line.
That was a great run by Jaron Fox, who's the fourth-string running back, and that is just how shows you how deep this Carolina Forest running back room is.
Once again, going with 2 running backs in the backfield. Hamilton takes the snap. He'll hand it off this time. I believe that's Fox again. This time he'll get stood up.
That's number 28.
It is.
Jaron Fox.
And he'll get stood up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
And now, can this Forest offense capitalize? They've had a whole bunch of big plays. It's just they haven't been able to consistently get those big plays or even 10 yards or 7 yards of play.
And it looks like they are going with the triple option a lot. Once again, 2 running backs in the backfield, 2 wide on the near side. They'll run the triple option. Hamilton keeps himself. He's got a lane. He's got the first down and more, and finally gets taken down at the 39-yard line. And that'll be enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
And that was a great use of the speed option. Yeah. Ethan Hamilton on the outside and was able to pick up 19 on that run, and that is exactly what you want from your Panthers offense.
Once again, looks like they're focusing on the triple option coming out of the locker room in the second half. We talked about adjustments, mostly on the defensive side, but it looks like the offense is making some adjustments coming out of the locker room in the second half. Shotgun set, 2 running backs in the backfield, 2 wide on the far side. Hamilton takes the snap, will keep it himself, trying to find a lane, now pitches it out, and Livingston gets taken down after a gain. Oh, no.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah,
4.
We'll get a gain of 4.
I'll tell you what, that was a risky pitch, and it was almost a forward pass.
Yeah,
he decided
I
late,
think he still would have been behind the line of scrimmage, so it would. I don't think it would have mattered.
Yeah, I don't. No, I'm saying it was a forward pitch.
Yeah. So they get a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 from the 36-yard line. They'll snap it. This time only 1 running back there. That's Khalil Johnson. He gets through the hole. He's still on his feet and finally gets taken down at the 14-yard line. That'll be enough for another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
And that is why you run the ball like you did in the first half. We talked about it. Khalil Johnson only averaging 3 yards per carry. But you know what that does? That wears the defense down.
Exactly.
And that is why you do that, because now the defense is tired. Khalil Johnson is going to run all over this defense.
So going from the triple option now back to the regular shotgun set. 1 wide on either side. Hamilton takes the snap. He'll keep it himself. He'll get through the line and gets taken down after a gain of 4. Gets taken down at the 11-yard line.
Run by number 12, Ethan Hamilton.
Not a bad run right there from Ethan Hamilton. And If you want to play 3 yards in a cloud dust football in this game, that is completely fine because now you're in the area where it doesn't really you're close enough to the end zone where it doesn't really matter.
Mark Morris adheres to the Hank Scram philosophy of football. Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side, and this time they'll hand it off to Khalil Johnson. He'll try to push his way through the line and gets taken down at – actually, that was Fox with the carry, and he'll get taken down at the 8-yard line, and that'll give the Panthers a 3rd and 4.
And it's not even that it's not that anyone's hurt because we've seen all 4 of the running backs in.
Yeah.
We've seen Khalil – and I think that's Mark Morris making the adjustment to see, like, okay, Khalil Johnson isn't big enough to hang with the 2 interior defensive linemen.
Yeah.
You go throw in your Jaron Foxes, your Christopher Livingstons, and let them absorb the body blows.
And they'll run the read option. Hamilton keeps himself trying to push his way to the first down marker. We'll see where they have him marked. It looks like he's going to be a yard short. And it'll be 4th and 1 for Carolina Forest.
And maybe I'm just overthinking here, but here's where I would go speed option to the outside. Because, 1, they're not going to be expecting it, but 2, Ethan Hamilton is so much more dangerous to the outside than he is anywhere else. And that's offsides on Oceanside.
And they're going to get the Landsharks jumping a little bit, getting a little too much happy feet on the defensive side, and that'll give the Panthers another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down and give them 1st and goal.
Pat McAfee?
Said Tony McAfee.
I was making the joke about me doing it.
Yeah.
You're never gonna let. I'm not gonna let myself.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it looks like another Carolina Forest. First down, 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and the Panthers will go power. Shotgun set, 1 wide on the far side. Actually, they'll go 1 wide on either side. Hamilton takes the snap, hands it off to, I believe that's Fox, and he'll get stood up right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1. It will be Jaron Fox with the carry.
Tackled by number 68, Owen Miller.
This is where Carolina Forest needs to, but this is where it's really hard to score.
Yeah.
Your playbook is very limited. You don't have as much room to work with, and you just got to find 3 yards somewhere.
Yep. Fox still out there. Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. They'll hand it off to Fox. He'll try to push his way through, but gets stood up right at the line of scrimmage. And they're going to actually say he lost a yard, so now it's 3rd and goal from the 4.
And Khalil Johnson's going to come back out, and I think this could be setting up maybe a speed option to the outside.
Because you just got to get into some space.
Right. But now you have space to the near sideline to Ethan Hamilton's left, where he's almost better running the speed option, where we've seen him be more effective in it.
Yeah, ball is just to the right of the middle of the field. Shotgun set, 1 wide. They do go speed option. Hamilton keeps it, pitches it out to Johnson. Johnson gets surrounded by, what was it again?
A shiver?
A shiver of Sharks. And he gets taken down for a loss of 2. And now it is 4th and goal from the 6. And now you have to wonder, they're going to go for the field goal.
Here's where I wouldn't do it, though. I would go for it.
Really? But you have to think about it. With that extra point being missed, a field goal gives the Panthers a full touchdown lead.
Based on where they are field position-wise, I would still go for it as the snap is clean, hold is clean. The J.J. Chaddock field goal is good.
Launches it through the uprights. So with 5:02, the Panthers are able to take more than half of the clock off in this 3rd quarter. We'll take a quick break. Come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
5:02 remaining in the third quarter. Panthers up 13-6, a full touchdown ahead of Oceanside Collegiate. And, I mean, I know you said that you would have gone for it, but taking a full touchdown lead, especially with how slow and lackadaisical the Landshark offense has been, I'm okay with it. Because it gives you a full touchdown lead. Now, even with a touchdown scored, even if the Oceanside is able to make a drive and score, first off, they're going to run off a ton of clock. And secondly, it just ties the game up.
I look at it as the trade-off of going for it at the Oceanside 6 for the touchdown, rather than taking the field goal to keep it a one-possession game.
Yeah,
that's like the pros and cons. I think the pros of going for it outweigh the cons, or the pros, or whatever the case may be, of kicking the field goal there. Now, it's still a full touchdown game, which is good. I just would have gone for it in that situation. Yeah. And you said it because of how the defense has played, you kick the field goal. I say because of the defense of how the defense has played, you go for it, knowing the defense can have your back.
Yeah. Certainly can look at it both ways as J.J. Chaddock puts the kick up. A long kick fielded at the goal line, and
he caught it in the end zone, so they're going to blow it dead.
But in high school, you're not able to bring it out?
Not out of the end zone.
Oh, okay.
If it was at the 1 yard line and he backed up into the end zone, then they would have let it go.
I thought that's where he caught it. He caught it right at the goal line.
He backed up just like an extra step before he caught it.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for Oceanside.
For everything they do.
Now, can this defense just continue to lock up like they have been?
I think they can. Shotgun set. Actually, pistol set. 2 wide on either side. Reidenbach motions, and he will hand it off. Oh, no, keeps it himself, and will get taken down after a gain of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 8.
Reidenbach, tackled by number 21.
And that right there is why
2nd and 7.
That's the adjustment that the Carolina Force defense has made. In the first half, that's probably a 5-6 yard run.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting looking at it, and it's a 3 yard gain, 2nd and 7. So that's the difference between the two. Another thing about this Oceanside offense, they do a whole lot of motioning for not a whole lot of reason.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a smoke screen.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll motion again. This time they hand it off to Brown, and he gets held up by a prowl of Panthers after a gain of 2. And it will be 3rd and 6 from the 24-yard line.
And this is where the defense can go the zero blitz. And if you don't know what I mean by that, zero blitz is just you go all out blitzing, you play man on the outside. And you play man on the wide receivers, and you go just at the QB.
Engage 8.
Right, basically. But that's where I would dial up this blitz here.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Reidenbach takes a snap, play action pass. He's got the blitz, and he's still on his feet. And finally, a prowl of Panthers takes him down at the 13-yard line. And you basically called it right there.
Okay, call me Tony Romo because I just be calling it. And if you know, you know.
You are my Tony Romo.
If you know, you know. That's one of the things where
they marked him down a little bit ahead of where I thought they would. They marked him down at the 15, but still
a big sack, and that's going to force a punt. And this defense is shutting this Oceanside offense down.
And Reidenbach will punt it away. High snap is almost got it blocked, but is able to get it away. Panthers will let it roll. It takes a Panther bounce and will go out of bounds at the 45-yard line of Oceanside. So the Panthers get the ball in Oceanside territory to start this drive, and they could extend this lead even further. 2:45 left to go in the third quarter, and it's 13-6 Panther lead.
Yeah, this is it's not a put-away drive,
no,
but it will definitely help start putting some of the nails in the coffin. Not the nail, but some of the nails.
Yes. They'll go shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Hamilton takes the snap, will hand it off. I believe that's Fox again, and he'll get taken down. Actually, no, that will be Khalil Johnson. And he'll get taken down after a gain of 2.
Now, I'll tell you what, Khalil Johnson has a lot of rushing attempps.
But not many yards.
But not a whole lot of yards. But if they're going to use 4 running backs in an entire game, I don't think it really matters.
Livingston comes in to replace Johnson in the backfield. Shotgun sent, 2 wide on the far side. Hamilton, speed option. Oh, no! Fake speed option, throws it deep, and it's intercepted. And getting taken down after the interception at the 43-yard line is Kyle Baldwin, the strong safety. And they'll actually mark him down at the 38-yard line.
And that seems like one of those throws where he was locked in on a wide receiver and he just threw it.
Yeah.
There was clearly safety help over the top, and Ethan Hamilton just didn't really care. And
he didn't read it well and just threw it. So Oceanside gets another chance on offense to try to tie this game up, and after a big 3-and-out and a big sack to end the last drive for the Panthers defense, that interception kind of takes some of the wind out of Carolina Forest sails.
Yeah, big time.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Reidenbach takes the snap, play action, read option, and he'll get taken down. They're going to give him a favorable mark because I did not think he got back to the line of scrimmage.
I didn't think he got back either.
Yeah, but they're going to mark him down at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and 10.
But again, this offense cannot throw the football whatsoever.
No.
So 2nd and 10 is more like 2nd and 15 in the grand scheme of things. They cannot throw the football to save their lives.
And what I do like, I mean, they are the 2 safeties, McCray and Walker, are playing up heavy.
Oh yeah.
They know that this offense cannot pass it as Reidenbach keeps on the read option and gets taken down after a gain of 2 at the 40-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and 8.
And Jonathan Principe has been active in this game. Yeah. He has currently 5 tackles leading the Carolina Forest Panthers defense, and that is something huge for this Panthers defense because if you can get tackles like that on every down, that's going to wear down an offense that's trying to gain yards.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Reidenbach takes the snap, 3-step drop, pressure coming again, and he'll get taken down in the backfield for the sack.
There's a flag down.
Jonathan Rivas, the primary tackler for the Panthers on that sack. There is a flag like Preston mentioned.
I would say it's holding.
You're probably right, so
this
more than likely will be declined.
Yeah, they're marking it down where they sacked him at.
Brings up a 4th down, I believe.
They either picked up the flag or just didn't bother
yeah.
mentioning it because they're just going to decline the penalty and keep the sack.
Right.
So it'll be 4th and 15, and Oceanside will punt it away. Punt is up. It's a high one. Fair catch is called. They're going to let it bounce, and it takes a bit of a Carolina Forest bounce at first, but then it bounces towards Carolina Forest side, will be downed at the 45-yard line of Carolina Forest.
So, do you remember in the West Brunswick game after Ethan Hamilton threw that interception?
Yes.
Do you remember what happened in the next drive?
They scored a touchdown.
He threw a touchdown.
Yes.
I think Ethan Hamilton is a lot smarter of a QB than most.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to let that get into his head, especially if they're going to throw the ball here.
They're gonna go shotgun set. They hand it off to Khalil Johnson, and he'll get a gain of 4.
Khalil Johnson on the carry.
Taken down at the 49-yard line of Carolina Forest.
And Khalil Johnson currently has 15 rushes, but only has 58 yards.
Yeah, this has not been the 10 yards per carry game.
No, this is going to hurt his averages a lot, and that's Khalil Johnson limping off the field.
Oh, that's not good. That's not a good sign for the Panthers. I noticed he has that right leg taped up a good bit, so. And that looked like the leg that he was favoring, as that will end the third quarter.
Wow. That was a quick third quarter, too.
Well, because of how much they were both teams were running the ball. So we'll take a quick break, come right back with the fourth and final quarter of action. 13-6, Panthers in the lead here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Comfort Dog Grooming Salon has been part of the Carolina Forest community pet grooming needs with quality and loving care for your pets for over 15 years. Large, medium, or small, they groom them all. They've always accepted new clients, and rebooking is easy. With 31 years experience with their staff, they're up to date on techniques and safety standards for all breeds, and the medical distance are no problem. They're active in your community with youth sports and lending a helping hand. Call them to be a part of the family with your furry friend. 843-903-4554 or at ComfortDogSalon.com, or just stop by with your furry friend at 4006 Postal Way, Myrtle Beach.
Final quarter of this one, and the Panthers, as long as they keep especially on the defensive side as they have been, looks like this game is certainly winnable for Carolina Forest.
And I completely agree. Just an update on Khalil Johnson. We see him getting his calf rubbed out. I believe it would be that's a tall sign of a cramp.
Yeah. So luckily, good sign for Khalil Johnson. Shotgun set, one wide on either side. Hamilton with the ball right in the middle of the field at the 49-yard line of Carolina Forest. Hands it off to Livingston. Livingston gets a wide open hole. He's got the first down and more. Actually, that's Jaron Fox. And he'll get taken down at the 31-yard line, and that's enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
And what's crazy is Jaron Fox might be the most efficient runner that we've had tonight. He's sitting currently at 45 yards with way less carries than Khalil Johnson has. That is...
And what's crazy about it, we haven't even seen Quavius drawn today yet.
Right.
Is this starting to become a four-headed monster for the Panthers? Shotgun set, they'll hand it off to Fox again, and he'll take it down after a gain of 6. They'll take him down at the 25-yard line. Actually make that the 26-yard line.
What I'm thinking is that this running back room might be the most stacked in Horry County.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
And the fact that Khalil Johnson, the leading rusher, can be sitting out right now and their offense not really even skip a beat is quite the feat on this Carolina Forest offense's side.
Shotgun set, one wide on either side. They'll hand it off to Fox again. Fox tries to find a lane and will get held up after a gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd and 1.
And this is something we haven't seen out of this Carolina Forest offense so far, is being ahead in the chains. They've been behind the chains a lot and just so happening to get first downs on those 3rd and longs, as Christopher Livingston's going to come into the game to replace Jaron Fox.
So Livingston in now. Shotgun set, one wide on either side. Hamilton takes the snap, high snap, hands it off to Livingston. Livingston will get the first down and more. Tries to spin out of the group of Landsharks. And
Shiver.
I need to remember that.
It's okay.
It will be enough for another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down with just over 10 minutes left to go in the game.
Okay, and it's a one-possession game, but does it feel like Carolina Forest is only up by one possession?
No,
it feels like Carolina Forest has dominated this game.
And they are once again in the red zone. Shotgun set, one wide on either side. Speed option. Hamilton will keep it himself and gets taken down after a gain of 5. After a gain of 6. No, they'll say he got 5. So, but still, 2nd and 5, and another big gain for the Panther offense.
And I think now this defense of Oceanside is getting worn down.
Yeah.
And we talked about that in the 3rd quarter, where this Oceanside defense isn't just going to be able to play like they were in the first half, when Khalil Johnson has currently 15 rushes, and Ethan Hamilton currently has 8 rushes. Like, it's just not going to work out like that.
It's just that constant breaking down the defense. They'll hand it off to Livingston. Livingston tries to go for the end zone, and he'll be just short.
They're going to say saying the ball came loose, and it did.
Did it?
Looks like there might have been a fumble on the play.
Wow.
So they're going to say that Livingston lost the ball at the 1 yard line.
Wow.
And Oceanside comes up with it. And the Landsharks are able to get the ball back and stop the Panthers from scoring a touchdown in the red zone.
Now, here's the thing, though. It's literally at the inch line.
Yeah. So especially with how the Landsharks offense is, you
sell
just
out.
send
You
everyone
sell out.
Yeah.
You don't even.
I wouldn't even have anyone protecting the wide receivers.
Yeah, I wouldn't even. Well, I mean, I would do that just because if the coaches see that, they're going to say, hey, just don't. Audible
just dump it off.
Although they don't even think they have any wide receivers on. It looks like all offensive linemen.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 1 yard line of Oceanside. They'll hand the ball off, trying to get through, and will get held up after looks like he just got back to the line.
Tackled by number 99, Errol Zimenez.
Riding back with that carry.
They're gonna give him a yard. So
yeah.
2nd and 9 from the 2.
Yep.
At 1.5.
And Oceanside's actually going into the huddle, which is surprising. You don't see that very often.
You do not. And the furthest Carolina Force player is at the 5 yard line right
They're
now.
going to go split back. They'll hand it off, trying to get around the edge and being held up after maybe a gain of 2. Gain of 2 will be.
Number 9, Xavier wins.
And do we think that the Oceanside even tries to pass it here for the first down?
No.
I would say no, and I would say you just send an all-out blitz again.
That was number 30, Johnny Gunn, with that carry.
But here's the other thing. Oceanside only has 7:50 left to go in this game.
Yeah.
How much time can they really afford to
exactly.
waste while not going for the end zone?
They're going to go split back again. Oh, no, actually, they're going to go empty backfield. They're going to throw it, and it's caught.
Wow.
Just essentially just like not really just a flick pass out.
The only way I can describe that is Derrick Henry's jump passes.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can describe that.
And that was caught by number 17. That was Travis Anderson who made that catch. And that'll give Oceanside a first down and some breathing room.
Right,
yeah. They'll go empty backfield again, and this time Reidenbach keeps it himself, trying to break around the corner, but is held up after a gain of a couple. And it'll be second. They'll say he got 3, so it'll be 2nd and 7. But like you mentioned, time is changing up their strategy. They're going empty backfield with Reidenbach by himself, and this time he runs it to the weak side, still on his feet, and gets taken down by a prowl of Panthers at the 37-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and inches.
And it looks like they're just going to just run Reidenbach until his legs give out.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's tired.
Yeah.
And I would be willing to guess that's why they're going into the huddle.
Yeah, just to give him some breathing time. Yeah.
But again, only 6 minutes to go, and you can't throw the football.
No.
So what is this Oceanside offense going to do here in about a couple minutes when they're starting to really run low on time?
Once again, going with the power. Reidenbach by himself. He gets the he gets a hole, gets the first down and more, and gets taken down at the 43-yard line. They'll give him the 44.
This just doesn't feel like. I know a win against Oceanside is good. Like, it's better than what we did last year. But it just doesn't feel like
a huge momentum boost for the season.
Yeah, like, especially with the past 2 drives ending in the red zone. on a field goal, well, a field goal, a 3-and-out, and then the fumble.
It's ironic. A win here feels less impactful than a close loss last week.
Somerville, yeah.
They'll once again go empty backfield. Reidenbach gets taken down in the backfield for a loss of 1.
Number 3, Ronnie Walker on that tackle. 23? No, oh yeah.
Jamari Davis.
Jamari Davis.
Loss of 1 on
It
the
looked like
second and 11.
It was definitely not 23 because Jamari Davis was on the far side of the field
Yeah.
standing. It was definitely Ronnie Walker. But either way, that was a great play by the Panthers defense to set up 2nd and long. And I don't know how much longer they're going to be able to run QB power.
Yeah.
Unless they're just setting up a throw to the outside to the wide receiver, and they're hoping everyone collapses. But I don't know.
Once again, going empty, a low snap. Reidenbach trying to find a lane and gets taken down. Actually, no. That was number 7.
Virgilio.
Will Virgilio, who's normally a wide receiver, he is listed on the roster as a quarterback as well. So,
46.
Okay, it's 3rd and 8. We only got 4:20 left to go. And do we think they're in a quarterback power formation again?
and
I don't know what this offensive play calling is for Oceanside.
And they're going to run.
Yep.
Oh, no, he steps back looking to pass, and he gets taken down.
I can't tell. Who is that? 26, it looks like.
26,
Jonathan
that's Jonathan Principe. And he's been dominating this game. How many sacks does he have now today?
He's got 1, but he's also got a tackle for loss as well.
Oh, okay.
So we have Jared Serrato with a sack, Jonathan Rivas with a sack, Jonathan Principe with a sack, and then Tyreek Livingston early with the sack. And this defense is just completely shutting down this Oceanside offense.
So it'll be 4th and 14, or 4th and 13, and are they going for it?
I don't think they have a choice.
Yeah, true.
With how slow they're all,
3.5 left to go in the game.
Oceanside's going to take a timeout.
So Oceanside will take a timeout. We'll take one with them. 3:21 left to go in the game. Panthers up 13-6 here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back as we are just a little under 3.5 minutes left to go in this game with the Panthers up by a touchdown 13-6 and the Landsharks having a 4th and 13 right here. This is pretty much the game. They're going to go for it. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. Reidenbach takes the snap, 3-step drop, throws it down the for the first down. That's Logan Hamilton who makes the catch while under pressure, gets walloped right as he makes the grab, and he's able to hang on for the first down.
I am stunned.
Yeah.
No way he hung on to that football. That was and it was a clean hit too.
Yeah.
Ronnie Walker leads with his shoulder, hits the wide receiver in stride. Logan Hamilton in stride, and just he hangs onto the football. I'm stunned.
So that'll be a 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line of Carolina Forest. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Reidenbach keeps himself and gets a gain of 2. Actually, they'll give him 3.
Number 20, Riker Roberts.
Actually, 2. I take that back.
But again, even with that first down, there's still only 2:38 left to go in this game. They're at the 41-yard line.
At the same time, but it would only tie the game. See, this is why it's a good thing they made sure they got the 7 points. Because now if they keep on driving and they're able to score a touchdown somehow, now instead of them potentially winning the game at the last second, they just can tie it. He'll take a 1-step drop, passes it over. It's caught again by Hamilton, and he gets taken down at the 29-yard line for another Oceanside first down. And now somehow Reidenbach is able to throw the ball.
I don't get it. I'm lost. I'm at a loss of words. Right at 2 minutes to go, but now they're in a position where they could score, and Carolina Force might not even get another drive.
Yeah. Shotgun set 3 wide on the far side. Actually, they'll go pistol. They'll go read option. Reidenbach keeps it himself and gets back to the line of scrimmage, but nothing more. And now you have to wonder, they're letting the clock run down. It's 1:45 left to go in this game.
Is
this a
reverse of last year?
Yeah.
This is a reverse of last year where Chad Wilkes is going to run the clock, let the clock run down on his offense.
Yeah. 1:30 left to go. Shotgun set 3 wide on the far side. Or, excuse me, 3 wide on the near side. Snap. 1-step drop, and it's a high throw over the head of Hamilton. And it'll be incomplete with 1:20 left to go.
3rd and 10, and they're going to throw the football.
Yeah.
This is where our star-studded corners and our safeties have to just sit back. And now I wouldn't run. I don't run blitzes here.
No.
You sit there. You rush
I
for
would
it.
run a blitz of like the front 7.
I would no, because you still have the running back swinging out of the backfield too.
True. Pistol set 2 wide on either side. Reidenbach, play action, 3-step drop, looking down the field, and it's almost intercepted.
That was deflected. There's not pass interference. That was deflected.
Yeah.
There's a flag down. Wow. It was deflected.
No, yeah, he was clearly right in front of the wide receiver.
There was behind the person who deflected it. It was a pass interference on the backside, but it was deflected, so that can't be pass interference.
But I have a feeling with other
they're reconvening.
We'll see. We'll have to wait and see what the call is.
The ball was tipped.
Yeah, it was tipped.
It was clearly tipped.
Yeah. And this crowd is going to go nuts if they call a pass interference right here.
They moving it up.
Wow. And the Carolina Forest faithful are not happy with that one.
Wow.
Ball goes against the Panthers. I think the coaches argue
wow.
the ball was tipped.
Yeah,
there's no doubt. And I guess the ref's only argument would be that it was before, like the contact. Mark Morris is fuming.
The refs over the last couple of years are quite inexperienced, but yeah, it looks like they're just going to keep it.
Wow. And you think about the past 2 weeks, a very poor call of a touchdown late in the Somerville game, and now this. That is so much for hometown refs.
They're going to go bunch on both sides. Shotgun set. Reidenbach, and there's a penalty called. And you'd have to imagine this maybe.
False start.
This is basically going to be a gimme call or a makeup call.
There's the makeup call. But that's still so bad because instead of fourth, it would have been 4th and 10.
Yeah.
Instead of that, it's still first and 15.
15. And still from the 20-yard line.
Right.
They'll go bunch trips on the near side. Reidenbach takes a snap. He'll go power. He'll keep on. He'll stay on his feet, and he'll get taken down at the 18-yard line. Good tackle by Charles McCray. There's only a minute left to go in the game.
Charles McCray's still been flying around this field. This defense has been single-handedly keeping this Panthers defense or this Panthers team in this game.
They'll mark him down at the 17. It's 2nd and 12. And a lot of time is running off of the clock. 40 seconds left. Reidenbach takes a snap. 3-step drop. Looking. Stepping up into the pocket. Now he scrambles.
He's on the way.
He's got pressure.
They're
going to score a touchdown.
Wow.
And once again, the
ref was literally, it was a pick play.
Yeah.
The ref stood in the way of, I believe it was number 4, Charles McCray on that angle, and was just, I don't even know.
I hate to be that guy, and I know we were technically wrong last week, but again,
we weren't wrong about the touchdown that Somerville had.
No, you're right there. But again, is it because of it being Oceanside?
They're going for 2.
Wow, they're going to go for it. So this is going to be the game. And the Panther faithful are getting loud.
I'm going to go ahead and assume it's going to be QB power.
Yeah. They'll go bunch shotgun. Actually, yeah, they're just going to drop Reidenbach back.
Mark Morris is going to call a timeout.
Mark Morris says we need a timeout. 30.2 seconds left to go in the game. And this is, for all intents and purposes, the game.
Now, Conway, it was in the same position last year. I was in overtime, but down at the 2-yard line, going for 2 to win the game. And this defense, well, not this defense, but
last year's defense
stopped them,
was able to stop them.
and secured the win.
You need to call for a ride home. Make sure you call for a ride home so that your parents can come and get you. The stadium will be closing right after the final whistle. So make sure you call for a ride if you need a ride home.
And this is horrible.
Yeah.
The fact that the ball was tipped and they call pass interference and then the ref stands in the way of a would-be Carolina Forest tackler is just the worst combination 2 plays in reffing history. Besides maybe the pass interference Saints-Rams game.
Yeah. Or that safety that wasn't a safety in the intentional grounding for Buffalo.
Yeah.
They're going to go power, and Reidenbach finds a lane, and he will get in. And just like that, now the Panthers trail by 1 with 30.2 seconds left to go. And I don't know. I mean, I know it's high school football, so there isn't as much scrutiny and whatnot. But if I were Mark Morris, I would be putting in an official complaint to the SEHSL on these refs.
Especially because these are the same refs we had Somerville.
What?
They're it's the same roster of refs.
Wow.
So I don't I don't understand how you go through all the training to be a ref. You have to know.
Don't know that call.
And you don't know that call. Like, every person in the stands knows that call, and the refs on the field don't know that call. Well, here we go.
And the Panthers do still have 2 timeouts left, and they only theoretically need a field goal. So where do you think J.J. Chaddock's line is?
I think he could. Now, he would need on the Madden meter, he would need perfect accuracy and perfect power.
Yeah.
I think he could hit like a 35-yard, 40-yard field goal.
Okay, so the 20-yard line.
So the 20-yard line. 25, depending on where.
But the problem, too, is you don't have a Scott Saylor to throw the ball. You're going to need to throw it.
Yeah.
So here we go. Kickoff is up. And it's fielded at the 20-yard line. Trying to break around. Trying to find some hole, but gets taken down at the 27-yard line. And that's where the Panthers will start this final drive with 25.7 seconds left to go.
There is definitely time.
Yes.
Especially with 2 timeouts. Now, obviously, Oceanside is going to be playing back deep.
Yeah. They're going to play their prevent defense right now.
Right. I'm feeling some magic in the air.
A Sockesty type game from a couple of years ago?
Maybe.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Play action pass. Hamilton steps up, looking, throws it.
Caught.
It's caught at the 50-yard line, and he'll get down. They're going to have to get up to the line quickly. They'll mark him down at the Carolina Forest 49-yard line. They're up to the line, no timeout. Hamilton takes a snap, 3-step drop, now steps up, looking, scrambles out, throws it, and he just throws it away. 10.5 seconds left to go.
Second down.
Well, I'll tell you what. The 50-yard line, the 49-yard line.
Yeah.
looks a lot better than the 27.
Oh, definitely.
This, I think, is doable. It's going to have to be a hook and ladder play.
Yeah.
It's not going to be just you throw the ball down the field and get a touchdown. Yeah. It's going to have to be a little magic.
A little trickeration. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Hamilton, 3-step drop, now rolls out to his right. Looking. He's going to have to throw it. He throws it deep, and it'll be...
There's still time. There was time.
And we'll have to wait and see. I don't trust
There's a flag on the far side of the field.
Oh, perhaps a pass interference? We'll have to wait and see what the call is.
That's on CF. Oceanside celebrating.
Looks like a defensive penalty, folks, and that is the game.
Wow.
Big hand for the Carolina Forest High School Panthers. And a good job by the Landsharks, too.
And,
a good, clean game.
I mean,
Make sure you're here next week.
I know that it's, against the announcer etiquette, but these refs, I know that there's a referee shortage right now, but these refs need to go.
That was horrible. And it wasn't even that they screwed up the call. It was the fact that where they did it at.
Yeah.
In the red zone, 3rd and 10.
And not to mention, then on the next play, the ref is misplaced and basically
in the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So another heartbreaking loss for the Panthers tonight. Final score 14-13. Panthers lose to Oceanside. But, I mean, it'll be very interesting to see how next week goes. Because both of these games, the Panthers could have won the game and certainly didn't play poorly.
And also probably certainly didn't deserve to lose.
Yes, certainly did. Especially this game.
Like, this game, it was blatant.
Yeah. Last week, there certainly were some mistakes by the Panthers. But this week especially, this game should be 13-6, Panthers winning.
I don't even have any words.
Yeah.
Like, that was more egregious than anything I've seen on the high school level.
Yeah.
That was horrible. And Oceanside's going to walk out of here thinking they did something. Their charter school, maybe they had the money to pay off the refs. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Whatever.
They have that sort of sway because of
who they are.
Yeah.
Either way, Panthers fall to 1-2. I don't have any. If I had words, I would say them, but I don't have any.
Well, I guess that'll wrap it up for us. Once again, final score 14-13. Oceanside wins it. We'll be back